Haribo.
Thank you, Guruji.
So we all like to remember that Mother Krishna Priya today is going to be in surgery, and we're praying for her quick recovery so she can get back home to Sri Sri Radha Golokananda Dham. And so let's be thinking about her and keeping her in our prayers. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari 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 Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodanandana Raja Jana Ranjana Sodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanacharya Munatira Vanacharya Munatira Vanacharya Munatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Pavnikacharya Satir Sadashi Srimad Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Anantakoti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Premsiko Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Dvaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Jai Radha Krishna Gopa Gopanath Shai Mukunda Radha Kunda Giri Gaudam Ki Jai Brindavan Dham Ki Jai Mayapur Navadip Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Gaur Premanandi all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shishi Guru and Garanga Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Namo. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 60, and we're on verse number 37. Niskinchano nanubhavan nayatosti kinchid. Kinchano nanubhavan nayatosti kinchid. Yasmai balim balibujo piharanti yadajya. Yasmai balim balibujo piharantya dajya natva vedantya sutripon takam adyatanda natvam vedanya sutripon takam adyadanta preshto bhavan balibujam apite piputubhyam no bhavan abhinam bhavi pupunjam nishkinchano nanubhavan nayatosti kinchid kinchano nanubhavan nayatosti kinchid yasmai balim balibujom pip haranti yadajya yadajya natvam vedantya sutriton takam adyadanta nam yasutripon takam yadanta presto bhavan balibujam apite pitubhyam gunjam Niskinchano nanubhavanna yatosti kinchid. Yasmai balim baliji bujo piharanti yadajya. Na tvam vedantya sutritom takam adyadanta. Presto bhavan bali bhujam apiteti tubhyam. Niskinchano nanubhavanna yatosti kinchid. Yasmai balim bali bujong piharanti yadajya. Na tvam vadanti yashutritom takum adyandanta. Presto bhavan bali bhujam apite pitubhyam. Nishkinchano nanubhavanna yatosti kinchid. Tasmai balim bali bujong pibarantia dajya. Na tvam vedanya shutripon takam adyadanta. Presto bhavan bali bhujam apite pitubhyam. Nishkinchano nanubhavanna yatosti kinchid. Yasmai balim bali bujo piyadharant yadajya. Na tvam vedantya sutritom takum adyadanta. Presto bhavam bali bhujam apite pitubhyam. Niskinchanaha. Without possessions. Nanu. Indeed. Bhavan. You. Na. Not. Yataha. Beyond whom. Asti, there is. Kinchit, anything. Yasmai, to whom. Balim, tribute. Bali, of tribute. Bujaha, the enjoyers. Api, even. Haranti, carry. Aja Adya, headed by Brahma. Na, not. Twa, you. Vedanti, no. Asutriptaha, person satisfied in the body. Antakam, as death. Adyata, by their status of wealth. Andha, blinded. Preshtaha, the most dear. Bhavan, you. Bali Bujam, for the great enjoyers of tribute. Api, even. Te, they. Api, also. Tubhyam, are dear to you. Translation and purport by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. You possess nothing because there is nothing beyond you. Even the great enjoyers of tribute, Brahma and the other demigods, pay tribute to you. Those who are blinded by their wealth and absorbed in gratifying their senses do not recognize you in the form of death. But to the gods, the enjoyers of tribute, you are the most dear as they are to you. Please repeat. You possess nothing because there is nothing beyond you. Even the great enjoyers of tribute, Brahma and other demigods, pay tribute to you. Those who are blinded by their wealth and absorbed in gratifying their senses do not recognize you in the form of death. But to the gods, the enjoyers of tribute, you are the most dear as they are to you. Om Jnanatimirandasya Ganan Ganan Shalakaya Chakshu Unmetan Gena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yenu Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastai Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminithanamani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Bacharani Nirvasesa Shunyavadi Prasyachadeshtarni Vanchakalpa Tarubhyas Chak Kripa Sindhubhye Chap Patitanam Pavanavyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Dvaita Gadadhar Shivasri Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. It's a very long purport. And so we'll go through it very slowly and very carefully because there's amazing points made here by Srila Prabhupada's disciples, using, in many cases, Srila Prabhupada's own words to make very important philosophical understandings here. So we're continuing with Srimati Rukmini's reply to Krishna's statements made earlier in the chapter about why she shouldn't be married to him. So now she's replying to text number 14, and we begin here with the purport. Here Srimati Rukmini Devi replies to Lord Krishna's statement in text 14, and his statement was, Niskinchana vayam swasvan, niskinchana jana priya, tasmat prayena na yadadya, mam bhajanti su madhyame. We have no material possessions, and we are dear to those who similarly have nothing. Therefore, O slender one, the wealthy hardly ever worship me. Queen Rukmini begins her statement by saying, Niskinchano nanu, you are indeed niskinchana. The word kinchana means something, and the prefix near, or as it appears here, nish, indicates negation. Thus, in the ordinary sense, niskinchana means one who does not have something, or in other words, one who has nothing. But in the present verse, Queen Rukmini states that Lord Krishna possesses nothing not because he is a pauper, but because he himself is everything. In other words, since Krishna is the absolute truth, all that exists is within him. There is no second thing, something outside the Lord's existence, for him to possess. For example, a man may possess a house or a car or a child or money, but these things do not become the man. They exist outside of him. We say he possesses them merely in the sense that he has control over them. But the Lord does not merely control his creation. His creation actually exists within him. Thus, there is nothing outside of him that he can possess in the way that we possess external objects. So we may own something, my car or my house, but we are not our car and our house. We only exert some control over a car and a house, and we don't control anything beyond that limited stuff that we control. Krishna, on the other hand, controls everything, and he isn't just controlling it as an exterior Lord, but he's actually the things themselves also. In other words, everything that exists already is him, but separated energies. Achintya beta beta tattva, that everything exists in him, but is yet not him, because he is the origin of everything, and everything therefore rests within him. It's actually stated in Bhagavad Gita in a couple chapters, a couple verses in the 8th chapter, and then also in the 9th chapter. If we go to verse number 20 of the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Parat tasmat tu bhavanyo vyakto vyaktat sanatana yasa sarveshu bhuteshu nasyatsu na vinashyati. Yet there is another unmanifest nature which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all this world is annihilated, that part remains as it is. And then Prabhupada says, Krishna's superior spiritual energy is transcendental and eternal. It is beyond all the changes of material nature, which is manifest and annihilated during the days of Brahma. Krishna's superior energy is completely opposite in quality to the material nature. That which exists, those are things that are real, never cease to exist, and things that cease to exist, they don't have any ultimate reality. So our bodies, they may exist for some time, but as a dream ends, so the body also ends. The dream is real, the body is real, but they don't have any extended existence. And here it's stated that Krishna's spiritual energy is transcendental and eternal, but it should also be noted that Krishna, he's the supreme personality of Godhead. Therefore, even the spiritual energy is subordinate to him, that he's a supreme personality within the spiritual realm. So we have a spiritual realm which is one and the same as Krishna in its quality, that it is Sat Chit Ananda. But Krishna, he's the source of the Sat Chit Ananda. Chaitanya Chaitananas Nityo Nityananas Chaitanya Chaitananas, that Krishna is the eternal source of all eternals. Meaning that everything is coming from him, but he is everything also at the same time, yet he's not those things. The next verse, Avyaktokshara ityuktas tam ahu paramam gatim yam prapya na nivartante taddama paramam mama. That which the Vedantists describe as unmanifest and infallible, that which is known as the supreme destination, that place from which, having attained it, one never returns, is my supreme abode. And therefore, it's described in Brahma Samhita, Chintamani Prakara Sadmashu Kalpa Vriksha. And Prabhupada says here The supreme abode of Krishna, known as Golok Vrindavan, is full of palaces made of touchstone. There are also trees called desire trees that supply any type of eatable upon demand, and there are cows known as Sarabi cows, which supply limitless supply of milk. This is achintya. It is inconceivable. Yesterday, Mother Irmela was talking about the mystery of the Supreme Lord. And his mystery is understood. It's understood within every religious or spiritual system that God is a mystery. If God or Krishna ceases to be a mystery, then he ceases to be who he is, which is beyond any understanding of anyone, even those in the spiritual world. When the six Goswamis wandered in the forest in Vrindavan, it was always, where is Krishna? Where is Radha? Where are they? They're always seeking them. They never attain them, but they become absorbed in always seeking them. And in Vrindavan, the gopis or the cowherd boys, they, quote, attain him for a period of time, but then he vanishes from their sight, but they still have him because they are full of him within their hearts. And so let's continue here. The Acharyas explain niskinchana in the following way. To state that a person possesses something implies that he does not possess everything. So if you possess something, you don't possess everything. Someone is the richest person in the world. That means they have, some number of billions of dollars. But that richest person of the world, his wealth pales in comparison to the wealth of even one nation, like the United States, which has trillions of dollars in its wealth. So the richest single person in the world may have billions of dollars, may one day have $1 trillion, but even the United States has a $30 trillion debt, what to speak of how much money there is. So the money is huge. But Krishna, he's the richest person. He possesses everything. It's like, what if one person possessed everything, but yet everything else had its value at the same time? In other words, if we say that a man owns something, we imply that he does not own all property, but rather some specific property. A standard American dictionary defines the word some as, quote, a certain indefinite or unspecified number, quantity, etc., as distinguished from the rest, unquote. The Sanskrit word kinchana conveys this sense of a partial amount of the total. Thus, Krishna is called niskinchana to refute the idea that he possesses merely a certain amount of beauty, fame, wealth, intelligence, and other opulences. Rather, he possesses infinite beauty, infinite intelligence, infinite wealth, and so on. This is because he is the absolute truth. So Krishna possesses everything in full, yet outside, in a sense, outside of him, everything is also in full. In the absolute world, 1 plus 1 is 1, and 1 minus 1 is 1. Therefore, we understand that even though all the complete units emanate from him, he remains still complete. If the richest person in the world starts spending his money, it's a lot of money. If you have $1 billion, you can spend $1 million a day for 3 years and you still won't run out of money. So if you have 100 billion years, you can spend $1 million a day for 300 years and you wouldn't run out of any money. So it's a lot of money, but that's still going to run out. Krishna can never run out. That's what he is. He's eternal. Srila Prabhupada, and this is really amazing here, Srila Prabhupada has given us so much absolute nectar. So, this paragraph here is quite amazing, and it's based on Srila Prabhupada's own purport here. Srila Prabhupada begins his introduction to the first canto, volume 1 of the Srimad Bhagavatam, with the following statement, which is quite relevant to our present discussion. Now, this is the introduction of the first Bhagavatam. Basic. Quote, "The conception of God and the conception of the absolute truth are not on the same level. God is not on the same level as the absolute truth. The Srimad Bhagavatam hits on the target of the absolute truth. The conception of God indicates the controller, whereas the conception of the absolute truth indicates the summum bonum, or the ultimate source of all energies. Summum bonum, which is Latin for highest good. Summit, our word summit, and our word bonus, they come from summum and bonum. The highest good is Krishna, and Krishna, as the summum bonum, is more than God. God's a position. Sometimes it's described that Lord Vishnu, he's God at work, and Lord Krishna, he's God at home, playing. It appears that Vishnu's doing something, but when he's doing something, like creating all the universes, he's sleeping. Here, Srila Prabhupada touches upon a fundamental philosophical point. God is commonly defined as, quote, the supreme being, unquote. And the dictionary defines supreme as, this is the dictionary definition of supreme. 1, highest in rank, power, authority, etc. 2, highest in quality, achievement, performance, etc. 3, highest in degree. And 4, final, ultimate. None of these definitions adequately indicates absolute existence. In other words, you take all these supremes here, and it still doesn't add up to Krishna. He's beyond that. And we think about it. You think about Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma, in a sense, is like God in this world. But he has an origin. And Lord Vishnu, he is God, but he has an origin. But imagine Krishna as a cowherd boy in Vrindavan, playing with the cows, dancing with the gopis, being the little boy of his parents, Mother Yashoda and Nanda Baba. He's always existed. There has been no point when there has been no Vrindavan. And that Vrindavan is absolute. But everything else around him in the spiritual world also is absolute. But Krishna, he's beyond absolute. It's because we can't even say exactly what it is. Krishna is more than the sum of all his parts. Let's continue. For example, we may say that a particular American is supremely wealthy in the sense that he is wealthier than any other American. Or we may speak of the Supreme Court as the highest court in the land, although it certainly does not have absolute authority in all political and social matters, since it shares authority in other fields with the legislature and the president. In other words, the word supreme indicates the best in a hierarchy, and thus the Supreme Being may merely be understood as the best or greatest of all beings, but not as the very source of all beings and indeed of everything that exists. So you say supreme, it's like he's the top person, and he may control. But Krishna's not just the top person. Krishna is the origin of everything. He's the origin of the top person in the same sense that he is the top person. I mean, how is it we can even grasp this? We can't. Thus, Srila Prabhupada specifically points out that the concept of the absolute truth, Krishna, is higher than the concept of a supreme being, and this point is essential to a clear understanding of Vaishnava philosophy. Like we understand more than other philosophies because we have an understanding. We don't really have the understanding, but we can have the understanding through the Guru and through love. Because it's stated, we should go to this right now, in the Brahma Samhita, text number 38, which is Premanjana Charita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shaima Shundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. And the translation of which is, I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Shama Shundra, Krishna himself, with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotees see in the heart of hearts with the eye of devotion, tinged with the salve of love. So, Premanjana Charita Bhakti Vilochanena. Prema of love, Anjana with the salve, Charita tinged Bhakti devotion. It's the only way that we can actually understand Achintya Guna Swarupam. That is the inconceivable, let's get the exact words here, the inconceivable nature with its attributes, its spiritual attributes. Krishna. How can we understand? Any other way? There's no other way except by becoming his devotee through our spiritual master. This purport continues. In text 14, Lord Krishna also stated, Niskinchana Jana Priya. I am dear to those who have nothing. Here, however, Queen Rukmini points out that the demigods, the wealthiest souls in the universe, regularly make offerings to the Supreme Lord. We may assume that the demigods, being the Lord's appointed representatives, know that everything belongs to him in the sense that everything is part of him, as explained above. Therefore, the statement, Niskinchana Jana Priya, is correct in the sense that since nothing exists except the Lord and his potencies, no matter how wealthy the Lord's worshippers appear to be, they are in fact offering him nothing but his own energy as a loving act. We act only by offering Krishna what he gives us to offer. The same idea is exemplified when one worships the Ganges River by offering Ganges water, or when a child gets money from his father on the father's birthday and buys him a gift. The father is paying for his own present, but what he is really interested is in his child's love. Similarly, the Supreme Lord manifests the cosmos, and then the conditioned souls collect various items of the Lord's creation. Pious souls offer some of the best items from their collection back to the Lord as a sacrifice and thus purify themselves. Since the whole cosmos and everything in it is simply the Lord's energy, we may say that those who worship the Lord possess nothing, because it's not ours, it's Krishna's. Third chapter of Bhagavad Gita says that unless we offer our work to Vishnu, then we can't have anything. And that he sent forth the demigods and human beings into this world and blessed them by saying, be thou sanctified by this sacrifice. In other words, through sacrifice, we make something sacred. And we don't have anything. We just have what Krishna gives us. Now, everybody in the world, they're just taking stuff. Pull the oil out, pull the minerals out, do this, do that. We have a world which is all polluted because we think that we can just keep taking. But we're just taking what has been given to us to maintain us. And what's the purpose of being maintained as a human being? It's to understand the absolute truth, not to just become super rich and then drop dead. And in the next life, have to come back as a cockroach or who knows what. Maybe a human being even, but really poor. In more conventional terms, people who are proud, this is the the last paragraph is interesting here. In more conventional terms, people who are proud of their great wealth do not bow down to the Lord. Queen Rukmini also mentions these fools. Satisfied with their temporary bodies, they do not understand the divine power of death which stalks them. The demigods, however, who are by far the wealthiest living beings, regularly offer sacrifice to the Supreme Lord, and thus the Lord is most dear to them, as stated here. So the demigods, they have far more of everything than even the richest people on this planet. And the richest people on this planet, how long do we live? You know, Steve Jobs was very rich, but he died when he was 56. How much did his money help him have a long life? And how long is a long life? 100 years? The demigods are living millions of years. So we have these proud peacocks strolling around thinking that they're controlling so much. They even have a term from themselves that was used, actually, masters of the universe. Peacock. No, I'm saying that the rich people, they prance around like peacocks, and they have referred to themselves, actually, in various places and times. In the 1980s, this first term came up when there was a whole bunch of rich people created by the booming stock market. They called themselves masters of the universe. For how long and how much of the universe? Little, like children in the playground playing with toys that were given them by somebody else, and they're thinking that, oh yes, this sandbox is the universe. Krishna is so merciful that he sends pure devotees into this world who come to idiots like myself, who are searching for some sort of peace and quiet from the hell of this world, but instead found the most valuable jewel, Krishna consciousness. How inconceivably wonderful is the Supreme Personality of Godhead that he invites us all to enter into his pastimes, which are beyond understanding by any amount of speculation or mental activity in this world, only by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Only by chanting purely the holy names of the Lord, and we're going to try to work on that every day, get those, someday we'll get a pure name in, and by doing so, developing our pure love of God, and then Krishna reveals everything to us because he loves us and we love him. Otherwise, there's no other way. No other way, no other way. Except chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name. Srila Prabhupada, Ki Jai. Questions, comments, etc. Not much time. Yeah. That's another verse. So many verses.
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvandam Maravindadalayataksham Varhavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarangam Nandar Agom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Andani Yasa Sakalen Priya Priti Manti Vasyanti Panti Kayanti Chiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami 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 Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Nandana Brajabara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Yashomaddinan Na Brajabara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Yashomadinandana Brajabara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Yashomadinandana Brajabara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Kaliya Damana Vidana Kaliya Manavidana Kaliya Damana Vidana Kaliya Vidana Amala Harinam Amiya Vilasa Amala Harinam Amiya Vasam Amala Harinam Amiya Vilasa Amala Harinam Amiya Vilasa Deepinan Purandara Navina Nagara Bara Vamsrivadana Suvasa Deepinan Purandara
Vina Nagara Bara Vamsivadana Subasa Deepinan Porandara Navina Nagara Bara Vamsivadana Subasa Deepinan Porandara Navina Nagara Bara Vamsivadana Subasa Vajajana Palana Surakula Nashana Vajajana Palana Surakula Nashana Vajajana Palana Surakula Nashana Vajajana Palana Surakula Nashana Nanda Godana Rakowala Nanda Godana Rakowala Nanda Godana Rakowala Nanda Godana Rakowala Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Sundarananda Gopala Sundarananda Gopala Sundarananda Gopala Sundarananda Gopala Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanahara Rasara Kripa Ripa Moya Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanahara Rasarusika Kripa Moya Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanahara Rasarusika Kripa Moya Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanahara Rasarusika Kripa Moya Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natabara Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natabara Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natabara Vallabha Vrindavana Natabara Bhakati Vinodashraya Bhakati Vinodashraya Bhakati Vinodashraya Bhakati Raya Yashomati Nandana Brajabara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Yashomati Nandana Brajabara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Amala Harina Mamiya Vilasa Amala Harina Mamiya Vilasa Amala Harina Mamiya Vilasa Amala Harina Mamiya Vilasa Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natabara Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natabara Bhakati Vinodashraya Bhakati Vinodashraya Bhakati Vinodashraya Bhakati Vinodashraya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radhe, Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radha. Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radhe. Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radhe. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shri Gaura Tai ki jai. Shri Shri Radhagolokananda ki jai. Jai 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 Shri Radhe Shyam. Lord Krishna is beloved son of Yashoda, transcendental lover in the land of Braj, the delight of Gokula, known by the nickname Kana, the wealth of the lives of the gopis, the attractor of Cupid, and punisher of the serpent Kaliya. These pure holy names of Lord Hari are full of sweet nectarian pastimes. Lord of the 12 forests of Braj, ever youthful, the best of lovers, player of the flute, and excellent dresser, protector of the inhabitants of Braj, destroyer of demonic dynasties, keeper and tender of Nanda's cows, giver of pleasure to cows, land, and spiritual senses, husband of the goddess of fortune, butter thief, and beautiful little cowherd boy of Nanda Maharaj, wanderer of the Yamuna riverbanks, thief of the garments of the gopis, enjoyer of the mellows of the rasa dance, very merciful, lover and beloved of Sri Radha, the great dancer of Vrindavan, and the only shelter of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. And I want to remind everybody this Saturday is going to be a very nice day. It's going to be really warm, sunny, and there's a Duke at UNC basketball game, which means it's going to be insanely crowded with happy partygoers. And the game begins at 6:30, so we're going to get down there at 4 and greet everybody as they go off to the game at the Dean Dome and also to the bars to watch it. And it should be really incredibly good. So as many devotees out there as we can, because it's going to be a lot of people there. So big opportunity for us to give the holy name to thousands and thousands and thousands of people. So that's Saturday at the post office on Franklin Street, 4 to 6. Chaito Darpanam Marjanam Bhavamahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairavya Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandam Puri Varnanam Pratipanam Purnamrita Swadanam. Gracias. Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrapita Niyamita Smarane Nakala Hetadrishita Vakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrisha Mehajani Nanuraga Trinada Pisu Nichena Torora Pisu Hishuna Amani Namana Dana Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadanam najanam na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kamaye, mama janmani janmani ishvare, bhavatad bhaktir hoitaki twai, ainanda tanuja kinkaram, patitam mam vishame bhuvam buddha, kripayata vapada pankaja, stita duli sadrashim vichintaya, nayanam gladashu daraya, varanam gadgadardagara, hulikar nishitam vapukada, kavanama grahaneva vishyati, yugayatam namishena, chakshusha pravashayatam, shunayatam jagat sarvam govindam virahename, ashlisha vapadamratam panashtumam, adarshanam marmahato karotuva, yatatava vidadatam pato, mat prananatastusa eva napara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Oh, my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you've invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh, Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw on the street. One must be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causes, devotional service, birth after birth. O Son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I fall into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Oh, my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? O Govinda, feeling your separation,